Let's talk about what's going on in the world now.
Yeah.
We are at war with Iran,
Mm-hmm.
and we still have Epstein in the back of everyone's head.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we at war with Iran, Mr. Kelly?
All right. Well, first off, understand that Iran was an ally of the United States for many, many, many years. Understand that Tehran was a place that people went to. It was a destination. Like Lebanon, Beirut was a destination before it was overrun with radical Islamist belief. Right? These were destinations. We used to have a very thriving trade with Iran. Then Jimmy Carter had to dick around with everything, and the Shah got deposed, and the Shah fled to the United States, and we ended up with a radical Islamist, Ayatollah Khomeini. And what Trump is trying to do is he's trying to reset our relationship with Iran. Not only Iran, Cuba too, and Venezuela. He is.
Well, I feel like those are totally different topics. Well, we can.
Well, they are. They are and they're not.
You think they're linear?
Not. He's trying to reset. He's trying to reestablish our sphere of influence. He's trying to basically bring us back to, our status in the world in the 1950s. Fantastic. Let's see if he can pull it off. But I think we can all agree that a nuclear Iran presents a terrifying specter.
If I may pause there.
Sure.
Well, didn't we just last year blow up all of their facility, the facility that we thought was enriching their nuclear uranium?
Sure.
Right? So if we were under the presumption, and Trump was pretty clear that we blew them up, so was there still a threat, do you think?
According to our intelligence, there was a threat. According to our intelligence, they never stopped trying to enrich uranium. According to our intelligence, according to published statements by Iran, they have enriched uranium, which we have to get out of there. That's one of the things that we intend to do, is find that uranium and remove it from Iran.
But we know they're no longer enriching it. They just probably have possession of it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. But
so what's the end game, right?
Okay,
what's the end game?
So Trump said that he attacked them because he had intelligence say they were going to attack us first.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's correct? And so we took initiative. We said, you know what? No, we're not going to do that. Now, what is the end game?
I think the end game is the end game obviously is regime change, and we want.
Despite him not saying, he's definitely said, they don't want regime change, but I guess I feel like now we're at a point of no return.
It said that we are at the point of no return. We need regime change. We need for Iran to return to being something other than a radical theocracy, which is what it is. So, and it appears, and again, who knows? Who knows what the truth is? I'm not in Iran. You're not in Iran. We don't know. But it appears that many of the people in Iran no longer want a radical theocracy.
I feel like, okay, so again, real talk here. We've been at war with the Middle East for a long time. Even though we've been pretty silent for a long time, there's a lot going on there. There's always so much going on. In fact, the heart of terrorism is literally right there in the Middle East.
Yes.
And we've been at this for so long.
Sure. We've been at this since the creation of Israel.
And it's like, at this point, let's just get rid of it. Right? Maybe that's the wrong to say. I apologize.
How do you do that?
Well, are we not doing it? We're bombing the hell out of this country. We are basically saying, like, we're basically bombing a whole. They're not going to exist anymore, right?
Maybe? No. Everything that we've done has been super targeted. So, I mean, have we killed hundreds of thousands of Iranians? Are we doing to Iran what the British did to Dresden in the 1940s?
Well,
no, we're not doing anything like that.
War is terrible. We don't want to kill anybody, but we have to do something.
We have
right now we're trying to figure out what to do with the strait there. Was it the Gulf or the Strait
of Hormuz?
The Strait of Hormuz.
Right.
And And Trump was basically I feel like he like set it up. He was like, okay, guys, uh, why don't you guys take it? Europe, do you guys want this? Do you guys want to do this? And everybody's like, nah, we want nothing to do with that. And even though we haven't moved forward on it yet, again, this is supposed to be Reagan news, but it's like, even though we move forward on it, it's like, Trump's gonna be like, all right, well then we'll just take it.
Right.
And won't we just reap the benefits of all of that?
I would think so.
Like, who gets 80% of their oil from there? China?
Yes, and
China
Japan gets an awful lot also.
But Japan is a really close ally
Yes.
as of right now, more so than China, even though China's still an ally. Like, if we just take it, like, and nobody else wants to do anything about it, doesn't that give us control of it?
Well, here's the thing. You're talking about two different points.
Okay.
If we take it, we're probably going to take Karg Island.
Right.
Okay, so, and yeah, we'll take Karg Island. And you know what? You want Karg Island back? I guess you're going to have a different regime. And I think that's what the Marines are going to do.
The United States of Karg Island,
right.
or the United States of Iran. If nobody else wants to come in and help and take it, it's probably just going to end up
right.
that way, right? It's going to be like the United States of this.
I would think that we would probably take Karg Island, and that would be, we would use that as an export hub.
Well, nobody's stepping up right now.
Right.
Nobody's stepping up. Is that correct?
Allegedly, you do have NATO allies that are now starting to send warships over, and this is for the limited purpose of escorting vehicles, escorting tankers through the Strait of Hormuz. But I actually think that we're going to have boots on the ground in Karg Island.
Okay. So, what do you think the end result? What is your in your opinion? I can only speculate that I think it's going to be the United States of Iran at the moment. That's my speculation.
If I were Trump, I would tell whatever regime is or what's left of the power structure that's running Iran, we're coming for you. And you know what? We're going to do to you what was done to Germany. You're going to be partitioned, and you're going to be partitioned between the USA, Israel, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia. And until we can impart some sort of democratic kind of framework for you guys to govern, then your country's going to be partitioned for the next 50 years.
Do you think that's, no matter what, going to be the ends to the means here is democratic? You don't think they're going to allow them to go?
The theocracy, dude, has got to end, because the theocracy is what's made all the trouble. So radical mullahs can't rule Iran.
I'd love to hear from our followers, like, what they think. Like,
right?
Do you guys think that we should just we should regime change democratic over there, or just let it maintain its basis?
Well, then if you let it maintain its basis, then what we've done, then this whole war that we entered into is, again, we mowed the yard. And in 10 years, we're going to have to go back and mow the yard again. And in 10 years, we're going to have to go back and mow the yard again. And maybe it won't be 10 years. Maybe it'll be 5 years. But we will never... This is going to be the thing that keeps recurring.
Well, it'll be cool to get some dialogue and talk about that a little bit, because, like, I totally agree. I do. I definitely think that, like, if we just keep doing the same thing, we're just putting a Band-Aid on it. And we just keep putting a Band-Aid on. Like, we need real change. And I'm curious of what that real change should be.
If we could end up making Iran an ally again, the whole power system of the world changes. Do you know how isolated Russia becomes if Iran becomes our ally? Well, everything's got to change.
Well, I mean, then China, they're still leaning on China. China and Russia are still pretty strong together. They're still good.
They're not. Look, you're talking about two people that have hated each other for millennia.
Well, they're coming together for a common enemy at the moment.
That's right. And the common enemy is the United States and the International Monetary Fund. That's true.
All right, so let's change gears a little bit here. I feel like Iran has overshadowed what I feel like a lot of people think is the more prominent subject, Epstein.
Epstein.
I have this like I'm so confused, and this thing is what it totally perplexes me. Is like I hear Trump and Epstein and all of this like he's in these files or he's listed so many times. And it's like he might be listed, but if Biden had and knew about any information and had access to the Epstein files, why didn't he release it in those 4 years? And I don't understand, like, now that Trump has rushed to release everything, he's released it, and even though he missed some redactions because of the rush, what is the big deal?
Look,
I don't get it.
I'll tell you something.
Regarding Trump, I understand the whole idea of the ring, we can't say the words, but the ring of Jeffrey Epstein. But they had it for 4 years. And they could have buried him. They were doing everything they could to bury Trump.
Sure. Let's look at how bizarre this situation really is.
All right.
Because there's an argument to be made that it's much ado about nothing. Yeah, the guy was trafficking young girls. There was a lot of prostitution. Sure, whatever. Yeah, okay. There's that. But there is no high-powered client list. And there is no rape or sexual assault or whatever. There's none of that.
Well,
then you've got, but wait.
Hold on. Just remember the things that we can and cannot say. We're going to probably have to bleep those things. You can use the word
rape, can't you?
Oh, easy. Don't say it again. We have to say things. I know.
It's a verb.
I know it's weird. Okay. It's bizarre. It's YouTube.
Right.
But don't worry. We'll fix that in writing. But
sexual assault.
You can say essay. That? You can say essay.
All right.
Essay.
Essay.
Good.
Okay.
Continue.
Sorry. And then you've got the argument that there was all of that. Right? So what's the truth? The truth, see, that's the thing. Trump says there is no client list. Okay. But you have people searching Zorro Ranch to see if they can find bodies. There are all these victims and there's all this money, but it turns out that some of the victims were actually girls that were paid and then they were recruited to become pimps and bring other girls. So what's real and what's false?
Well, so here I feel like Ghislaine Maxwell being charged with sex trafficking, and if Epstein was the only person, it's like, well, who else was it? But does it have to be anybody else? I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm not saying that we can't find proof, but in general, what we know now, Maxwell, from your experience as a lawyer, Maxwell doing this, couldn't she have been charged with sex trafficking just to one person?
Sure.
And that one person could have been Epstein?
Well, I think the problem with Ghislaine Maxwell is that the testimony was that she also had sex with girls that were underaged.
Right, but her, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't just abuse; it was sex trafficking was her main.
Sex trafficking,
but she could be charged with just with one person. It doesn't.
Sure.
It doesn't mean it has to be an entire list.
Oh, that's correct.
I'm just thinking, like, if it were an entire list, and I know that a lot of the victims are coming together.
There is no list.
Well,
Pam Bondi said, "Oh, I've got the list on my desk."
So why do you?
She never releases it, and then she says there is no list.
Again, this might be a very sensitive subject for. And we'll make this short. But why are all the victims coming together on news saying that there's a list and saying they're going to reveal all of these people?
And they never utter a name.
Why haven't we heard anybody else?
We're gonna drop names, and they never do. Isn't that perplexing? If you've got all these names, start saying names.
Maybe some followers can tell us. Maybe let's leave it at that. Let's leave
it at that.
Look,
I would like to get to the bottom of all of this. I want the client list.
Justice.
We want justice. I want the client list. Give me the client list. And you know what? If you can't give me the client list, at least give me the flight logs.
Well, hold on. I thought a lot of that was revealed already, but they redacted. There's a lot of things redacted. But let's come back to that. Let's let people leave some comments. And again, guys, before we move on to our last topic, please like and subscribe. We'd love to keep talking to you guys and keep doing this. It sounds like it's a lot of fun already. Talking with Scott is one of my favorite things to do. Arguing with him is even better. We're trying to be a little gentle right now because we don't want to get canceled on our first cast. So